Getting out of line. It's okay.
They're on.
Actually, the doc you sent me to is weird. Oh, we're on.
Hi. Welcome to Hangout 120. It's June 24th. As you can see, you caught us all sort of looking around. And then Brian subtly said, hey, we're live. So welcome. And we've got a lot of people here. And in spite of starting off with a really sparse agenda, it's really filled up quickly. So let's everybody say hi at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Hi.
Hey,
You say hi at the same time.
Oh, there's always
the only one that pays attention.
Okay, so let's start. It sounds like there's a new type of USB or cable coming out soon. It's a Type C. What do you guys think? Are we going to be searching things 5 times to try and get it to fit, or will it fit the first time?
it's going to be the first type that we're going to be seeing on the smartphone device, so it should be interesting.
Everybody looking forward to it?
I'm excited for the faster speeds.
Yeah.
Alleged faster speed.
No, is it really going to be faster speeds? And that's like, do I need to have a Type C USB port on my computer? Not Type C. Like, I need to have a USB 3.0 versus to get the speeds, or will it have to be some sort of other standard?
No, it's going to make use of your 3.0, but it's going to maximize the bandwidth capacity of it.
Okay, so we're still sort of bottlenecked by whatever USB connector support we have on the computer.
So this isn't a case like Lightning or something with Apple, because the Lightning adapter is supposed to be faster, but they're still on USB 2.
Yeah, that's not really fast.
Faster. I said third.
Okay. Well, we're all going to wait with bated breath and see how this works out. We talked about the One Touch Idle 3 last week, and now, Martin, we have a date.
Yeah, we have a confirmation date for Canada. June 30th is the launch date, so it will be available in store at major retailers. And they've also partnered up with another company for the launch as well.
And they are the official. They are the official phone for the Toronto soccer team.
Yep.
Football club.
And we will have a review up for that when it comes out, because we'll be getting a phone. So Martin announced that he was getting an update on his Moto 360.
Yeah. I mean, as of now, I think Moto 360, pretty much everybody that has a Moto 360 should have gotten their update. How about you, Cass? Did you get your update?
Yeah, I did.
All right, perfect. It's been running fine. I mean, I've enabled the wireless on it like pretty much everybody else would have, and it's been good so far. I have not noticed any battery drain or anything substantial from Android Wear 5.11. I don't know if I should be happy or if I should be worried.
Well, I got the notice that it was turning off my Wi-Fi to save battery life, and I don't know if it just checks to see if you're on a network that it's attached to, or.
From what I understand, if your Bluetooth isn't available for it, it goes to Wi-Fi, or vice versa.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like Wi-Fi is on again. So it had turned off, and then it just turned back on again. Oh, nice. Seems to be pretty stable, which is good. Stable is always good.
Battery life seems to be about the same as well.
Okay. I know everybody here has been raving about the new LG handset. However, Ryan's going to talk about their numbers. Ryan.
Yeah, so Q2 numbers are slowly coming out, and they're saying that right now the G4 isn't been as selling as they thought they would, so the numbers weren't as through the roof as they thought. Which, I mean, to be honest with you, really the G4 hasn't been out that much, and there's not a lot of people that really buy first day. At least in the Android world, there's not a lot of first day buyers like there are in the Apple world, where you line up, ad nauseum. So I don't know if they're starting to count their chickens before they're hatched in terms of that, just because it's only been a couple days in that second quarter that the G4 was available. So I can't really see that huge spike coming through. So I mean, people are saying it's down. Oh, therefore it's disappointing phone. Blah 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 blah. Fear, uncertainty, doubt. Blah. But I think it's okay. People just it's a really great phone. So.
Siobhan, did you have a comment?
Yeah, like Ryan said, it just came out, and I do sense from people that they are excited about the G4. I see a lot of comments that say, yeah, I'm dying to get it, or as soon as I get an upgrade, I will get it, or like we said, when it's a phone on contract, it's not like the OnePlus that you just go online and you buy it right away as soon as it's available. You have to wait until it pays for you to actually get it at the end of your contract or whatnot. So it's different. We can't judge it the same way, and we'll have to wait a bit. But I do see a lot of enthusiasm for it.
And I agree. Like, I have seen lots on it, and I think that the way that cell phones are sold in Canada, you have to really rely on that media presence, social media presence, so that when your contract comes available, you walk in, you go, oh hey, here's that phone that I saw. And I think LG's doing good at sort of breaking into it. And Ryan,
I was just going to say the other comment it comes down to is, again, it comes down to where the sellers are, right? So the people then they go to the store. Like I was going to say, talking with Ryan online, and he wanted to buy the phone, and he was buying it from not a Rogers store, and so they gave a bit of a runaround in terms of like how he has to buy it, and they wanted to tack on extra price. I think, remember Tom had an issue with one of these third-party carrier stores tacking on extra weird fees. So there's that, but there's also the fact that, I mean, if the sales associates don't know that phone, and I had the problem when I used to work at a sales shop, and like I used to, love talking to people about the G2, and I had a chance to sit on the floor. But to be honest with you, not many people on the floor, they knew iPhone and they knew the Galaxy. And they didn't even know which Galaxy model they're on right now. I just know that's the two types, right? There's a Samsung and there's an Apple. And I had to really show them, no, this G2, a better battery, this feature. And it came down to not people really knew about it. So I think, again, we say they're not saying much media from the company, but I think maybe the LG needs to do some good reach out with those stores to get people to do it. So anyway, yeah, that's my thoughts on it too.
And yeah. Rob, you have a comment?
Well, yeah, he just reminded me of a story like back when I got my Motorola that I'll talk about later. That was 2013. That was back when I think the G3 was pretty hot, and I think the Nexus 4. And I had a guy at Rogers try so hard to talk me out of getting my Moto X, and I was going, no, I want the Moto X for this reason and that feature and everything. And he thought I was crazy, but I'm going, oh, this is a solid device. And it's funny how some of them will be like what Ryan experienced, where they'll talk you out of something and they don't quite know what they're saying. So
unless they get a bigger commission for Samsung.
Yeah, that's just it.
I don't know. Do they? I don't know how
so. The stores I was at, it was not. The carriers might get something better, but it doesn't really trickle down to the store level. So
yeah.
What it comes down to, I think, familiarity in terms of, I know I sell a lot of these Apple phones.
And I think Apple does do a good job. They got in there really well at the beginning, but I think everybody else, just like I think arts have that problem. Everyone has that problem of getting the word out about things to the right people. So, it's not just LG. I think that there's a lot of, we're in a transition, and it's very difficult to hit your mark.
Yep.
One interesting thing they were talking about was adding Google Drive files into your calendar. So I sort of looked at that, and I know that Martin said, "Oh, that's a game changer," and I looked at it and thought, "Huh, okay." So, who wants to take this on?
So the reason why I said it was a game changer is if you're in a corporate environment, you use Exchange, right? And in your calendar or in your meeting request, sometimes you want to tackle on a document or a file you may need for that meeting and whatnot. Well, this is what you can do now in Google Calendar, which you couldn't do before. So if you were adding like a PowerPoint presentation, you were sharing it among all the different people that you have that's coming to this meeting, they'd be able to get the file, and everybody would be on the same page.
Ah, okay. Well, that makes more sense. We're using Link a lot at work, which is similar to Hangouts, I would say. So, do a lot of desktop sharing that way. Rather than
But I think what's nice about this
files.
is that because it's Google Calendar and Google Drive, like even on Outlook, I still have to say if I want to make a calendar connection, right, I have to then click attach and I have to go and find that file. It's just that it's a little bit easier because it's going to attach to Drive with Google Calendar to be able to pick out the files you want. It's already, you don't have to leave the ecosystem. You don't have to leave and go look at your file browser or whatever. It does mean you're going to have internet access all the time. So I mean that's never usually a problem for most people. But again, I think what really needs to happen next is more Google Apps for work, because between you and me and my parents, I'm not setting a T-ball reminder. Dean's T-ball game is on Thursday at 6:30, and here's the map for how to get there. They're not going to be getting that, right? So I think it's really more for the work environment. So I think Google still has a bit of an road hill to get working on getting Google Apps for work more out of there. But I think this is really paving that way to really helping that. So now how they're going to overcome Samsung, who's really partnering heavily with work, Microsoft Office stuff. But so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what comes next out of it. So
It's actually interesting to see what direction things are going to go between Microsoft getting much more into Android, and of course Cyanogen making their own suite of extras. So that'll be interesting. But back to the agenda, which grew in leaps and bounds in the 10 minutes before. Charging, wireless charging, I love it, and now it's speeding up. So let's hear about that, Martin.
So this should be an interesting change. I mean, we're all used to the QI charging, but soon we should be able to see QI charging with the fast charge that we've been seeing in a lot of Qualcomm chargers, or I should say Moto chargers as well, to be able to take charge of that charging capacity where, like Siobhan likes to point out, she charges her device in 15 minutes.
Half an hour.
Half an hour, which is awesome. We will be able to see that in QI wireless charger very soon as well. Yes,
and that's nice. I mean, Samsung has built that into their S6 and probably will continue to do so. But apparently LG is waffling a bit. So Ryan, you got 30 seconds.
30 seconds to rant. Okay, so those of you remember the G3 was said to support QI charging if you got a special case. Unfortunately, remember I reported on this a long time ago, the fact that no, in Canada the D852 only had PMA. So we're still waiting to hear about the Canadian 812 for the G4, whether or not it will support QI or PMA charging. So will it actually work? And I can't get an answer of which it's going to be. So I love seeing more QI stuff, and I really hope that's the path most of these wireless chargers can go to. I just need to see the OEMs all go to that, and I love S6, and I have to give them the props for doing both.
Okay, and yeah, it was only 5 seconds over, not too bad. Rob, you have a question for Martin about that.
Yeah, I just wanted Martin to clarify, so does this mean that all existing phones with QI charging do get the speed up as well? It's not going to be from phones being released here on or anything, or is it backdated?
If your phone is capable of QI charging, right now, even with the new charger or the new methods, you will not get this fast charging.
Okay.
It's only
so the fast charging is part of the phone.
It's going to have to be
well.
built in and activated by the
receiver.
manufacturers. Yeah.
Okay.
Usually it's in the battery, the actual technology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in some devices, if you've noted, even though it's possible, the manufacturer has disabled that feature.
Okay.
Of course. Okay, so Mobilicity. Interesting news today with respect to who is taking them over. So, Ryan, you're going to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, no, it's not really Android specific, but again, it's going to affect many of the
Canadians.
Android users out there in Canada here. So the idea being is that, I mean, a while ago, Mobility has been really talking about they need a buyer. They really are having a tough time going out alone. So Intellis has been offered to buying them a couple of times, and they've gone to the CRTC to ask for that purchase, and they've been turned down. Now, it looks like Rogers hit the magic dollar number of $465 million to allow the purchase of this going through. So part of that purchase, because the CRTC has been big on about making sure that there's 4 players in every mobile area, so they're trying to go for that mandate. So part of that purchase is that Rogers is going to pay out $100 million to lose spectrum, right? So to go to different, I think Wind was going to be picking up some of that spectrum that Rogers had. So the idea being is that even though they may be taking out one of the players in some markets, they're going to be letting up some of the spectrum in those markets where there might be not 4 players. So, and I think it did say today it was officially approved. It was officially approved. So, yeah. So it's interesting to see what's going to come of that. So if you're a Mobilicity customer, let us know what you guys think of what's going to happen if you're going to get enrolled into Rogers. I know I kind of got screwed over when the Baytel Rogers deal kind of happened, but it'll be interesting to see what comes out of this, because I like seeing the smaller players like Public Mobile, getting those kind of companies coming in to Canada. So
how did you get affected, Ryan?
It's a long story. We don't really have enough time here to go into how T-Baytel.
The plan changed, or?
In my case, no, the plan didn't end up changing. I think I can't remember, to be honest with you, but I really did not like it just because they weren't given the choice to say you have a new owner, therefore you now have a choice to pick between staying with Rogers, i.e. T-Baytel, or because of this purchase, you're now the ties were cut, and you can go choose to go somewhere else.
Right.
And I wasn't allowed that option. I was told you have to go enroll.
Right.
And I purposely did not want. I picked Rogers not to be with T-Baytel. So those customers who picked Mobilicity not to be on Rogers, are they going to be forced to go to Rogers automatically? And that's going to be the kind of interesting thing I want to see.
Yeah, that's always a difficult thing, because that's one of those breaking the lease type things. Let's have Martin comment.
Yep, I mean, from the reports, the Mobilicity should remain an MVNO independent of Rogers.
That's, I think, one of the things they're talking about, whether it be like a Fido or the sort of underwriter of Rogers or not. So just
this is what it might actually happen, because Industry Canada made a point of mentioning that it had to remain an MVNO.
So that is a separate entity.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, interesting times ahead. Still, because they don't do those takeovers out of the goodness of their heart.
No, definitely not.
So there is some interesting news today about government spying on you, not through your GPS, but through something with your battery. And Ryan, you're going to talk about this, but Martin has the best story. So you start, and then Martin tells the story.
So you know those stories people go around and they tell you, oh my God, check this on your phone, on your milk carton. If it says ends in these numbers, it was packaged out of the USA and da-da-da-da-da. What was the one the other day I heard? It was absolutely crazy. Oh, this is an American company. Oh, we're trying to get turned to online voting in Thunder Bay. And apparently there's up in arms because the website, T-Bay Votes, is actually out of the Chicago, and therefore Obama's going to see how we all vote. So anyways, there's a lot of people who immediately go to the most weirdest places when they think of something. And so here's another one of those tinfoil hat stories where a guy posted on Facebook. And now, keep in mind, this thing has 22,000 reshares already, and how many 100,000 likes or whatever. Where basically he takes apart his Samsung phone, and he's like, oh, I can't believe Samsung's listening into your phone. And he takes apart the battery, he pulls off the sticker, and he shows, look, and it's got this sticker behind this battery. Look, it's got this little chip behind my battery. They're spying and stealing all your your photos and everything. And anybody who's ever had a Samsung phone will notice on the battery it'll say NFC-enabled battery. So unlike most ones that have the case where the NFC stickers on the case, on Samsung devices the battery has the NFC chip on it. So that's what all he did is he peeled off the NFC sticker off of his battery, thinking that he's now disabled this fancy chip that apparently some ne'er-do-wells are spying on his phone. And people are running with this, saying, oh my god, Samsung's doing what to my phone now? Oh, what we gotta do? So there's been a lot of people saying, yo, calm your tits, this is nothing to worry about. This is just an NFC chip. It's what you use to bump your phones together, to share pictures, video playlists, and whatever else. And it just, I just shake my head. Like this is.
Everyone should facepalm right now at the same time. 1, 2, 3. All right.
And then Martin will tell his story because this is a personal experience.
Personal experience. I mean, you've got all sorts of friends from various areas of life, and one of them showed up today, and he's just like, tell me about the story about this chip that's on the battery of his Samsung device that enables the government to spy on him and whatnot. And I'm like, and I knew exactly what he was talking about, and I'm like, and he actually peeled it off, and I'm like, I had to make a point of telling him what that chip was, and the NFC, near field communication, used to transfer files between phones, you tap your phone on a mobile payment system at like Tim Hortons and you make your purchase. And he looked at me, and he had the oh my god I'm dumb look on his face, which was awesome.
Tell him to put tinfoil all over his phone.
Yeah, that's what you get for being dumb.
Good times. Good times.
I tell you, there are people that they really, really, really want to support that tinfoil hat company.
No, some of them definitely do want to support the tinfoil hat.
It's like, ooh, that's all. Well, Monuments Valley did another update today. Or actually, I guess it said the 25th, but when I checked today, and it's still the 24th where I am, there is an update. So if you're playing Monuments Valley, you do get another, I don't know how many series, but I do know that I'm having a heck of a time getting through any of the puzzles. So this could last me a long time. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not, my head's not in it today. But so check that out. It's a free update. It's not like the last one where you had to pay extra to get it. So that one. And MTS, new plans to compete with the big three. We got 5 minutes. MTS, big three, what do you guys think?
I'm not in Manitoba, so I don't really. Can't
is this where I talk? This is probably where I talk.
You can talk.
Not for Manitoba, I can do it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check it out. If I don't have the plan or any of the stuff in front of me to relay to everyone, but there is something along the lines of they're going to drop the common thing where you just start off with voice package and text messaging. So we usually have that to put your data and plan it on top of that. But they're going to do reverse and going, look, we see that lots of people, like Martin here, doesn't even care about anything but data. So they're giving you the option just kind of start with that first and then kind of work backwards. Mm-hmm. And they're also going to do their plans to tie into our own home packages that we have here. So like I have MTS. I'm through Rogers for my cell phones, but at home I have MTS, and that's distracting.
I'm watching you. I'm not even watching Martin.
Yeah, Martin's popped up. So, yeah, so the MTS is going to have this thing where you can package and do bundles and this kind of stuff and everything. So, for me personally, I think it's going to kind of add up the same, if not more, just because I would still want to put like TV back on. I still need some phone calling. I still need a voice package. My wife still needs some stuff. But if you're looking bare bones just internet, it's actually a pretty slick idea. You can get a phone for about 30. What was it now? Someone help me out here. Like 30 or 40 bucks, I think, just to have a phone with unlimited data, and then you can like add for another 15 bucks, 3 more family members or something. So it's pretty slick and worth looking into for any other people who are in Manitoba here. So
I was looking for a plan like that with TELUS because I was thinking I have a TELUS landline, and maybe we'd want to blend them, but you can't. Those are two different companies for TELUS. So probably because the landline's only in Alberta, whereas mobility is more wide-reaching. So back on, Rob, you can keep talking about the Moto X. It got 5.1. You said, how do you like it?
I haven't had a chance to use it too much because I'm still testing the LG G4. But when I did download it and install it and everything, without even having to do a factory reset or anything, the phone is going just as quick. If not, it feels a little faster. They supposedly optimize it quite well. I'd like to think that it was worth the 7-month wait for this particular phone to even see Lollipop at all. So
right,
it's supposed to have 5.0 at one point, and then they said no, 5.0 is not so good, and then we got to put it to 5.1. So there's a little wait longer, and the special processor for listening all the time, 24/7 when the screen is off. Apparently, that gave them quite a hiccup. So, but so far so good now, and when a G4 goes back, I'll definitely be anxious to play around with my Moto X and see how it does every day.
Okay, well, in the chat with us, we're talking about Public Mobile has $80 plan. There are many options. You should always be checking what you're doing with your cell phone, and all your phones. Just because it's really easy to get in a rut and spend way more money than you should be. So we're going to wrap up. I think I got 2 minutes, and I hope I'm a little better than Ryan at keeping to that time. So we have a review on the K480 Universal Keyboard. Martin gave a hint of it the last Hangout, and I ran out and got one right away. So here's mine. I love it. It's English. It can flip back and forth between different things, and yep, I love it. It has a really great keyboard feel, which for me is important. We have a Tilt ribbon car charger review that's up now, and we have BWE smart LED color bulbs that are in the process of being tested, and we will have a review up about that as well. And right now on Google Play, there is a summer spun sale. According to Sylvain, there are movies you will not want to watch. However, since we're not all Sylvain, there may be movies there you do want to watch. And Siobhan, you have a comment?
Yeah, just don't forget that me and Rob got to try the LG G4. So we're going to continue posting about it and our experience, and I'll publish my review either next week or the week after, and then maybe do some comparisons. So keep looking at the blog and look for that.
Absolutely.
We should try to get together at some point, you, me, and Rob, and maybe Darren, and try to do like a little hangout and talk about sort of our experience.
Recap, sure.
Yeah, we're going to compare some notes.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think that'd be a great idea, because everybody that's got the phone seems very excited about it. And, we were saying that their Q2 numbers may not be as good as they should be. Let's help them out with Q3. So I think that wraps up. Are we going to say goodbye individually since we said hello all at the same time?
Don't forget, we have a Tilt View car charger wireless charging dock giveaway tomorrow at 4:30. I draw the winner before I leave for the work at 4:30. So please enter. We have a daily enter where you can tweet every day. You get an extra entry into it. So go check it out. Less than 24 hours.
See, you guys have to write this stuff down in the agenda, or I'm going to forget. Just like work.
18 hours to go on that.
Going from east to west, say goodbye. So first of all,
Good night from Montreal. Happy Jean-Baptiste.
Yes. Martin.
Take care, guys. Have a good night.
Ryan.
Hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I really appreciate it. And by all means, comment, share, like, But most likely comment and let's have a conversation.
Message us in spam, please.
Bam.
Oh, Rob
Good night.
and me. Goodbye from Alberta. And we will not be here next week. It is Canada Day. Woohoo! We'll all be out watching fireworks at our respective home cities. I hope you guys get good ones. We get awesome ones because we're really close to them. So it's super. And although they do start at 11 o'clock at night.
I am in Ottawa, so it's going to be extravaganza.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna try to get the fireworks on my G4.
There you go.
Nice. Okay, so we'll be back in a couple weeks, and hope you have a great Canada Day, a couple weekends in between there, and you know, you can always get a hold of us on the blog. Keep reading. There'll be lots coming up. See you.
Ciao.
Good night.